So are you thinking about buying a home in the upstate of South Carolina but feeling a little bit overwhelmed? So if that's you, then you're definitely not alone. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process, show you what to expect, the things to avoid, and help you make smart decisions from the very start. And I'm really going to encourage you to stay with me until the end, because skipping over any one of these steps could cost you time, money, and a lot of unnecessary stress. At Homes Ever After, we really believe in serving people first and doing real estate in a way that feels clear, supportive, and honest throughout. Here on this channel, we're going to cover everything from new construction tours, home buyer tips, neighborhood highlights, and real honest information to help you make informed decisions about purchasing a home and living in the upstate of South Carolina. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. All right, so let's jump in. So the very first thing you need to do is be honest with yourself and make sure that now is the perfect time. And I don't just mean that it sounded like a great idea over the weekend. I'm talking about something where you're ready financially, mentally, and you're ready to make this big step moving forward. Because buying a home is honestly exciting, but it's also a very big decision. So before you start scrolling through listings and falling in love online, take a minute and just ask yourself, am I truly ready and truly able to make this commitment right now? And if that answer is yes, then the next step is figuring out financially and realistically what it is you can afford and be comfortable with. And this is where a lot of buyers get off track. They start falling in love with properties online. They don't really understand the numbers, and this is where disappointment can really begin to set in. A good first step is using a mortgage calculator online and just plugging in some numbers to kind of get an idea of what those payments are going to look like on a monthly basis. One thing to keep in mind is a lot of those calculators are only going to show you the principal and interest. You also have your escrows that are figured into that, so the numbers can be skewed a little bit if you're not keying in all the data. But nonetheless, those calculators are going to be very informative. But in addition to that, the best place to start is really having a conversation with a lender so they can map everything out and not only help you understand the numbers, but in a situation where someone needs to maybe work on their credit or they have some things that they really need to focus on, they can usually tailor a plan for that individual to show you exactly what it is you need to do so that you can be better prepared when that time comes. And if you're new to the area and you don't have a trusted lender here in the upstate of South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, we have some people that we can recommend. So if that's something that I can assist you with, just drop a comment down below and I'll send you that information. Once you get through all the kind of the boring parts, the financial parts, the credit parts, the next step is where the real fun begins. This is when you get to go out and actually start looking at some homes in person and the excitement begins to brew. And at this point is when you can really start narrowing things down. Not only do you know your budget, but if there's a specific program you're qualified for, like USDA, which is a rural loan or something else, all that information is very helpful to know up front so that when you go out, you're shopping within your means, you're shopping in the areas that are going to qualify that are specific to the loan. And again, it's going to put you in a much better position. When you get ready to write an offer, you can come from a point of being backed and secured and pre-approved and much stronger than some other buyers who may hit the market who haven't done all this legwork up front. Before we go on any further, if this video has been helpful at all, if there's been any value at all so far, if you wouldn't mind liking, commenting, subscribing, we would definitely appreciate that. This helps us reach more people that have the same interest, that may have the same questions. So if you're finding value in it, maybe they will as well. Now, when it comes to choosing the right home, this is some of the best advice that I can give you. Start with your must-haves first and not the nice-to-haves. Your must-haves are all the things that truly affect your day-to-day life. These may be things like being in the right school district, making sure that if there's an HOA, they have amenities that align with your lifestyle, swimming pools and things like that. Making sure not only the home has enough bedrooms and square footage, but maybe you need a fence because having pets and dogs are important and this is something that you guys are interested in. Maybe it's being in closer proximity to an airport because of your travel and things like that. These are all things to really plan out and keep in mind when you begin your search. Then, once you know a home checks all those boxes for your must-haves, you can start looking at some of the extra things. These are things you may love to have, but don't necessarily have to have. This mindset can really help you stay on budget and not stretching yourself too far on things that are cosmetic or that really may not be all that important. Now, this is the part that really matters. This is where who you partner with and having a good buyer's agent in your corner is going to be really helpful. And of course, that may sound a little self-serving coming from a realtor, but I'm telling you this because it really matters and it's something that's really important. A good buyer's agent is there to protect your interest, help you to understand the process fully, negotiate on your behalf, and guide you through and help you navigate all the moving parts that comes with purchasing a home. Can an agent help earlier in the process? Absolutely. But once you're serious about looking at homes and writing offers, you really want someone in your corner to help you navigate that process. And please don't call the listing agent on the sign and assume they're going to look out for your best interest the same way your own personal agent would. The listing agent works for the seller, and honestly, their agreement says that he is to represent them to the fullest and look out for their best interest, not yours. So even if you're not working with us, just please make sure you have someone representing you on the buy side. And once you find the right home, the next step's pretty easy. Let's write an offer. This is where things become official. The offer is going to include a couple things. It's going to include the price you want to offer, the closing dates, your financial terms, timelines, any contingencies that may exist, and other details that are going to shape the entire contract. And here in South Carolina, there's a few important parts of the contract that really look out for the buyer, and those are important to understand. And one of the big ones is inspections. Even when you walk through a home and everything cosmetically looks good, an inspector's job is to go through the home with a fine-tooth comb, and anything that comes up, usually those repairs can be negotiable. This is also going to help you understand what's really going on with the property. This not only includes your general home inspections, but it includes things like CL100s, which is really your termite inspection, radon testing, mold, and other things that you might opt for. You also want to be prepared for the appraisal, especially if you're financing the home, because of course the lender and the bank's job is to ensure that the home is worth what we have on the contract. There are also deadlines throughout the entire contract period, and those deadlines are very important. This is another reason that having a strong agent in your corner is very important, to make sure that we hit those deadlines and all of our obligations and responsibilities are met throughout the buying process. Because you don't want to miss key dates, opportunities to negotiate repairs and deadlines because someone wasn't doing their job and staying on top of those things. And in South Carolina, closings are typically handled through a real estate closing attorney, not a title company like you see in many other states. The attorney's really going to handle everything from all the closing documents to title work and everything that's required to get us to the closing table. So yes, there are a lot of moving parts, but when you have a right team, the right agents, the right lender, and everybody you works with is in great communication together, the process can seem quite seamless. So if you're thinking about buying a home in the upstate of South Carolina, I hope this gives you a little bit clearer picture about what to expect and what the process looks like overall. So if you have questions, you need lender recommendations, or you're ready to take that next step and see where to begin, our contact information is down below. We truly love to help you however we can. And if you're still in the searching phase and you want to learn more about living in the upstate of South Carolina, new construction homes, or the absolute best neighborhoods to explore, make sure you check out this next video right here. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.